So I wanted to make this quick video to explain to you why you should seriously consider writing down the question getting asked during a job interview. And the simple argument for this would be to win a bit more time to give your best answer, right? And what many candidates underestimate here is the risk you're taking by hurrying up to answer a question, right? So the classic scenario is where you interrupt your interviewer and you start answering the question before even they finish, or in the follow-ups, which, you know, if you do it once, probably you'll get away with it. But if you do it on a consistent basis, that's annoying, right? You could easily try it out by role play with someone. I do this in my coaching session, and even for me, you know, I'm trying to help the candidate. It's annoying if someone interrupts me every time I ask them something, right? So the first thing would be it's annoying if you interrupt. But interrupting, let's say, not many people do this. But having a reactive approach in a job interview and trying to answer the question on the spot significantly raises the risk that you bomb that interview, because interviewers will not always ask you simple questions or simple follow-up questions. There are tests, you know, such as the backbone test. There are some deep dives they would like to get into, and there are all sorts of tests they would like to challenge you on. Now, I strongly believe there's no such thing as a perfect candidate, as I strongly believe there's no such thing as a perfect job, right? But still, if you try to give the answer as quickly as possible, as reactively as possible, that's when you risk the most that you're not going to give the best answer, right? So, simplest example, a time I had a conflict with a colleague. These types of answers they would ask you because they want to screen you on your interpersonal skills. And most of the time, people, when they hurry on these things, it's quite easy to put the blame on someone, like to blame the other colleague, or to say it's not my fault, it's the company's fault, you know. So these are some classic mistakes that people do because they hurry. So then what is recommended here is to introduce a bit of delay in giving an answer to a question or to a follow-up question. How you introduce that delay? Well, one method would be to note down the questions you're getting asked, right? Another option would be to repeat the question you're getting asked out loud, just in order to answer that, hey, yes, that's the question, and you're thinking out loud, right? Or it's also not as uncommon as you might think for the line not to be as clear, the connection not to be as clear in case of remote interviews, or even during the face-to-face interviews. And you don't get the question, or you think you got the question, or you almost got it, and you make some assumptions, and those assumptions prove to be wrong because you didn't actually get the question, right? So if you have the slightest doubt the question you're getting asked, ask for clarifications. Don't be shy with these things, because it's your job offer on the line after all, right? Other options to win a bit more time, to not to be reactive in these job interviews, would be to start on a broad note. You know, like a time when I had a conflict with a colleague. Yes, it's not often I have conflicts with a colleague, but, you know, we're all humans. We have different personalities and so on and so forth. But one specific example of that would be, right? And therefore you won 5 or I don't know, even more seconds if you wanted to get to a specific example to answer that specific question. There are plenty of other ways you could easily get creative into winning more time to answer, to give the best possible answer to these questions. But my point is that don't underestimate the risk involved in answering questions quickly during a job interview. Very few people can do this consistently, right? So you might say, hey, yeah, but it's only 45 minutes. Yes, 45 minutes and then another 4 sessions of 45 minutes, right? So if you put it this way, the chances that you're going to say something wrong or simply not to give the best answers are significantly increasing. Or, you know, if you want to take some risk, then, I don't know, take some risk with the bar raiser, you know, where you really want to perform to the best of your knowledge. But having a reactive approach during a job interview is super counterproductive for most candidates, right? So you should make a careful balancing act between how quickly you go about answering and how safely, how confident you are giving the best possible answers, right? So I hope you found this useful, and thank you very much for watching.